Hey everyone, welcome back to Random Spirit Podcast. I am your host, Cynthia. Today's episode's going to be just a bit different. It's going to be flowy, and I'm just going to be talking. There's not really much structure in this, which is fine because I have been just really trying to deconstruct the mind and I have my podcast and I have my spiritual services and I want it to be intuitive. I hope I'm making sense. I'm trying to step out of this hierarchical way and just doing things intuitive and flowy. So, one thing that I am having difficulty with, just like a vulnerable moment, is balance and balancing with my podcast and with my spiritual services. And I feel like it's because of the fact that I do a lot of it by myself. The editing on my podcast, I do by myself. And everything with my business and the posting, I do a lot of it alone. And, just healing as well. I feel like I'm going through this part of my life right now where I feel like I'm clearing so much karma. And when I say that, I'm talking about like past life stuff. And this is familial. It's very draining physically and energetically. And there's a lot to it, right? Like I'm a home mom and I am, present with my kids and I want to just do so much. And then not only that, it's like I am trying to learn how to be present with myself and I'm trying to learn how to do self-care and I'm healing over here and I'm healing over there. And I have all these ideas for my podcast episode that I jot down, but then I can't, like, there's a lot to it. And then with my business, there's a lot of great things happening. I just had a photo shoot today. I stepped out of my comfort zone. I had a photo shoot today and it went great. And I'm so proud of myself, just so amazing. I stepped out of my comfort zone and I met up with this amazing photographer. We went to the park and he was just taking photos of me for my website. And there's just so much going on in my life. And one of the things is I'm really trying to balance and be in the present moment. So many parts of my life are changing. Like I said, I just feel like there's so much purging and there's this new Cynthia that's coming up and I feel like my nervous system I'm learning how to regulate and I can't even it's I speak in energetics and it's difficult for me to express through words the changes that are happening within me. I have been through so much, and one of the things that I am working through is a lot of things that I have been through in the past and really just processing it. And I feel like I was in survival mode for so long, and now the past year and a half, I am regulating and grounding. I'm learning how to like really be in the present and really ground. And when I'm in this rest and I'm in this pause and I'm like reflecting back because, I'm still healing. Healers heal too. I do shadow work and just really looking back and emotions coming up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like I did not process this. And for me, what does healing look like? Healing looks like an emotion comes up and I have to put myself in my room or have to go to my car and I am boo-hoo crying. This happened to me last night. I just randomly, this is healing, this is grief, right? I had to go to my car and I am just bawling my eyes out. And I don't know what it is lately. I am crying so deep and so hard and then I start laughing. I don't know what it is. I think I had looked it up. It was like, I don't know if it's like a condition. I don't know, okay? But something with the brain. And there's been a lot of that. And I believe that I like to seclude myself just because I don't want other people to be like, oh my gosh, like, is she okay? Like, no, I'm not okay. This is how I process. Letting go is something that has been so difficult for me. And again, like I'm just learning and letting go of things so that I can go on and just be in this energy of the new, right? I've recently learned this about myself where it's like a lot of, the clients, and not only that, a lot of people that I meet, that I come across in life, there is this strong, beautiful lesson, and a lot of it has to do with grief. And it's, grief is just so big, grieving a job loss or grieving a relationship with someone. Like that is the pattern that I've been seeing. And also, like in my life, I'm learning how to let go of old parts of Cynthia. And it's all about just like showing myself love and really being in this forgiveness and allowing the emotions to rise up and doing what I have to do, whether it's screaming into a bucket of water and just like expressing my emotions. I need to go to a rage room. I feel like anger is something that is unprocessed within me and I need to let it out. I'm going to go to the rage room and I'm going to let you all know how it is. I'm going to make a whole episode on it. I come from a family that did not talk about emotions. I come from a family that to this day there's, some silent treatment and I'm learning how to live through and just really teach my kids emotional regulation when I'm still trying to figure it out myself. I'm healing my inner child while I'm being a parent, and that has been huge in my life. There's been this part of me that's been suppressed, and this part of me is just, it's very loud, and this part of me is so just like all over the place. And I've been holding space for her and I've been embracing her. This part of me, like right now, I feel like crying. And it's not like this, sad, like heavy cry. It's just like this crying of like happiness. Like I've been working with my energy centers, right? I'm an energy healer and I work with my chakras, and my heart chakra has just been so opened. And I'm working on my divine feminine, and I'm just in this open energy, and I'm tapping into pleasure. And like in my healing girl era, you know how they say, letting your hair down, like it's the energy of letting my hair down. It's the energy of learning how to be in a world where I'm not on defense all the time. So with that, I feel like there's this reflection that's being reflected back into my business. And I'm being called to be more vulnerable. And even just saying that shakes me to my core because I have this huge fear of judgment. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so open. I have this huge fear of judgment. And there's this part of Cynthia that has been suppressed, that has been lost. And with all the work that I'm doing, she's out and she's like, I don't care, I don't give a fuck. And it's this beautiful energy. And with that like being reflected into my business, I'm being called to be vulnerable. And there's a lot of stories, like I am a storyteller when it comes to the healing space. In the workshops that I do, I am learning how to, not only hold space for myself, but hold space for others and allow people to see this broken part of me that I've done so much work on. And it's amazing the feedback that I get where they're just like, oh my goodness, like I can relate. And I'm just like, wow, I never thought that I would be in a time where I would be talking about the things that I have been through. I don't, this is probably conditioning, but it's one of the things where it's like, yeah, like I've been through that, but the thing is, like, other people have it a lot worse. And that, I'm telling you all, there's this deconstructing, heavy deconstructing, deprogramming that I'm doing in my mind. And currently, I go through the chakras, right? And I'm currently working on my crown chakra, and the crown chakra is the element of thought. And this is like, the beliefs and the connection that we have with divine and, God. And I'm currently working on that. And there's a lot to this energy space that right now is, healing, like manifesting into healing with everything going on in my life, and that's affecting my business, which is good, and I'm here for it. This is going to affect my podcast as well, where I am just going to be more vulnerable, and this is a part of me that I always thought was an issue. I am the type of person where it's like what you see is what you get. And I am just so open, and I can be in conversation with you. And, yeah, sometimes like I trauma dump, and it's like whatever, right? But like this is me, and I'm being called to bring that. And then like with the balance, I'm not trying to be like too much because I have this fear of judgment. I'm not trying to be too much, but then it's like hitting that sweet spot. With the change in my business, what's been happening and manifesting is these new offers that I have that I wanted to talk about. So I have Feminine Ascension, and this is has everything to do with sisterhood, and it has everything to do with the divine feminine. And this is this new baby that I have, and it's so interesting because last year, around the same time, it was around this time, May, that I made Journey to Self was created. And Feminine Ascension was created literally a year after Journey to Self. And I'm just like, wow, what that means, I'm still trying to figure out. But Journey to Self is healing generational trauma from the root to the crown. And it used to be structured, but I have taken the structure out, and it's very like flowy and intuitive. And I guide you through listening to your body and holding space for you for the healing. And with Feminine Ascension, I am doing the same. I'm doing something like different and new. Journey to Self is one-on-one. Feminine Ascension is a group, and it's in the name. We ascend to the our definition of the feminine energy. I do not like structure. I do not really like following rules. I like to make my own rules. And this program is that. What is your definition of feminine? And with me, something that's been coming up within the past 6 months is this new version of Cynthia, and she's not tense. And it is taking me some time to, just like adjust to this part of myself. And like I said, there's just like a lot to it. But this program is just so beautiful. It's a 4 week, I guess you can call it like a mini mind. It's 4 weeks. And like the things that I do, it's very flowy and very intuitive. If you would like to join, the link's going to be below. Healing the feminine for myself, something that I've been learning too, is really my body. My body not only speaks to me with like intuition, it's very difficult to describe, but my intuition just like vibrates, and it just rings within my body with the health part, and just like the body and just being a woman. I was addicted to coffee, to caffeine. And so I went from drinking coffee to drinking matcha. And with that, there was some issues with my menstrual cycle. And I recently cut the caffeine completely, and it's changed so drastically. My body is just changing. I'm, taking care of my body more. And I've been working with the moon and the moon cycles. There's this amazing woman that I'm working with, and the program that she does is working with the moon, and we set intentions during the full and the new moon, and it's just like so amazing. I love her. She sent me something for the menstrual cycle and like the phases and stuff, and I never really looked deep into it, but I feel like for myself, really tuning in to this feminine within me has been so just amazing. I'm learning so much more about myself, and my period has been just like flowing. And I don't know, I feel like it's so important to just really know your body. I've been on birth control for a very long time. I've spoken about it on here. I took my birth control out May of 2023. And since then, I still feel like my body's trying to detox, and I'm trying to get fit and just be healthy. And since I had Sebastian, there's been a lot of health issues that had followed, and I had gallstones. I have my gallstone taken out. There's a certain foods that I'm very sensitive with, and there's just this huge health that follows with the feminine that I have been working with. This new Cynthia has been coming up with my wardrobe as well. And I am the type of person that's like very comfortable. When I tell you I lost myself in motherhood heavy, I actually really just lost myself in motherhood. And I am someone outside of my kids, like point blank, period. And I'm tapping in to that Cynthia, and I fucking love her. Oh my goodness. Just even my clothing has changed so much. I went to Ross the other day to get like an outfit for the photo shoot, and I picked up like this cute romper. Like I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo sun, Virgo rising, Capricorn moon, and just I love the earth. I love the earth. I love earthy things, and it kind of blends in. It's like mixture of culture, right? I was raised in a Mexican household, and just like things like, oh my goodness, how do you call it? Like the dresses. The best way that I could describe it, it's like a Mexican dress. I used to dance folklorico, and there's a specific dress that I used to dance in. I freaking loved it. It was like very flowy. It wasn't like heavy, and it was from Yucatan. And that's the vibe, that's the style that I like. But then it's like this mixture of African. I hope I'm making sense. And just it's very grounding, and just the mixture of these two cultures, right, that I have. I was raised in a Mexican household, and then my ancestry says that I think, 42% Nigerian, or from, this part of Africa. And just, I am finding myself in that. I really, really hope I'm making sense, y'all. All this to say, I'm working on my feminine energy and just really healing. My wounded feminine is exhausted and just tired, and I'm grieving her. I'm holding space for her. And yeah, that is it for today's episode. If any of you want to join the community of the Feminine Ascension, this is a group, and it's like a mini mind. There's going to be a WhatsApp group, and that's where we're going to be doing all the communicating. And I'm going to have lessons 4 weeks, and we meet 4 times. We start June 6th. So this is for the women that just wants to tap into her definition of the divine feminine. This is for the woman that has been in survival mode, and she's grieving old parts of herself. She's going through this purge in her life, and she's finding herself. That is the whole vibe. Come and join me in this mini mind. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next episode.